All right, all right. What's going on, good people? Today is not March, April the 7th, 2021. Another great Wednesday morning. Another great opportunity to make some good profits in this market. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Remember, just to touch on the schedule this week, we will be live tomorrow, Thursday night, 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live over on twitch.tv/Bison Trading Show. You can find the link down below in the description. Welcome to the Todd Trades Futures YouTube channel, where we trade with a purpose over here. And our purpose this morning is to make sure that our first trade out of the gate is a profitable trade. That's my main focus. One thing I've been learning about myself is that sometimes I give myself too much leeway room and allow myself to take practice trades during the live session. No, that's not what we want to do. We want to make sure that every single trade that we take today counts. And I'm glad you guys are here along with me to do it. So if we look at the daily chart for the S&P futures, we can see that since the last time we checked in here on Monday, not much has really been happening. We've had 2 down days that you can call them down days because they technically are red, but they're so small and minimal that it really doesn't even make a huge difference. So far this week, the market really hasn't been moving all that much. So that's a good thing, because that means that we still have a day left where we can catch a major trend. So hopefully that can be today. But honestly, based on what we've been seeing so far on the S&P this week, I'll be very patient today. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't find too many opportunities. Like if I find 1 or 2 good trades, I'll be okay with that. But I'm not looking for anything huge unless the market says that I can get something like that. But it was like watching paint dry yesterday, and on Monday it was cool. You know, we caught a trend early in the morning, but after 10:30, 10:45, the market dried up like a raisin, and there was no opportunities. It was just back and forth. So I don't know what's going on this week. Maybe it's one of those weeks where, you know, sometimes the market just takes a break. We've been in a very strong uptrend for a long time. We've broken out to new all-time highs. So maybe traders in the market are just sitting back trying to figure out what exactly they want to do next. That could be a possible solution for our problem. But if we're looking at the chart, what I see right now coming off of the hourly chart is a double top followed by a lower high. Now, let's not get too concerned about what we're seeing here, because in an uptrend, we should expect pullbacks. Pullbacks usually meet the characteristics of lower lows and lower highs, but they usually come back to a level of support, find support down there, and continue to move higher. So in my opinion, as long as prices stay above 4,050, we should be good for higher prices in the future. But if we happen to get down below that 4,050, I think it'll be an issue. We could probably see it come back all the way to 4,037, where this last wick is located, as well as 4,025 at the bottom of that same area that we were looking at with this wick right here. So we'll keep those things in mind throughout today's session. Right now, we're just stuck in a consolidation zone between, let's call this 4,060 and 4,075. So a 15-point range. Not too much going on over on the S&P today. So we'll have to really be patient and see exactly what happens. Let's see. I don't think we took a look at the weekly chart. Let's do that. So not much has changed since Monday. Just prices going higher. Higher green candle. Prices are higher than they were before on Monday. So even though the market is moving slow, it's still making its rounds and moving how it's supposed to in the upwards direction. So I like that. Current resolution. Hold on, you guys. They tell me this every time I get on here. Let me change it. I don't even know how to change it. So, all right, you guys, if you see anything that can help me, let me know in the chat. So it says the stream's current bit rate is higher than the recommended. We recommend that you use a stream bit rate of 1,000 kilobytes per second. I am using a stream setting of, I don't know, but let's see. Well, I'm listening to the playback and it sounds fine, so we'll move on. Gotta make sure we get the technical difficulties right, y'all. You know, for some reason, it seems like when we stream, they just don't want us to win. They don't want us to live. But anyway, make sure you guys interact with me in the chat and let me know what you're trading today. All right. Analytics. 2 people in here so far, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Let's get it. All right, so let's get back to our analysis. Had a little soliloquy right there. But looking at the weekly chart, we can see that even though the S&P is moving up slowly this week, it's still moving up. So that's a good sign. Now, one thing I want to focus on is this correlation between the S&P and the Dow Jones. Now, this has been very helpful for me, at least in the longer term, especially when it comes to the NASDAQ as well. All 3 of these pairs are related. You have the S&P, Dow Jones, and the NASDAQ. All 3 of those things are related. They have a correlation. Now, what I noticed on the long term was that the S&P and the Dow Jones were making all-time highs last week. The NASDAQ had yet to catch up. Last week, it was around this area. I was able to go long, bought some QQQ, took advantage of that and added to my long-term portfolio. Now, I don't talk about that too much on here, but I wanted to let you guys know that whenever you see a dip, you need to be buying and you need to be participating in whatever you want to trade or invest in. I know a lot of people like to go with Vanguard, VOO, QQQ, SPY, whatever stock works for you. When you get dips at prices that you like and find value at, make sure you pick up some shares. Ooh, what happened to Bitcoin? Yeah, let's look at Bitcoin for a quick second, because I think what's happening right now is very interesting, because we made this what used to be an all-time high back in February, right? We had a pullback, higher high, higher low, and then we made a new high up here at 61,000. But if you look at what's happened since that point, since the top up here on March 14th, we really been making lower highs, lower lows, came back, made a double top, and are pushing back down. We just broke past the major level of support at 56,000. So it looks like the uptrend may be losing a little bit of steam when it comes to Bitcoin, at least just based on what we're seeing on the daily chart for right now. Definitely not a good look. We could almost call it a head and shoulders if we were to take our area and draw it across these tops. But I don't want to put too many lines on here and confuse anyone. But overall, this was the flag that I drew on Bitcoin, because we had this large impulsive move to the upside. We came back, we made a pennant, we found support down here, and since that time we've been moving up. So in my opinion, if we break past 55,000, it's not a good sign for the buyers. This right here is the last frontier. This wick right here at 53,400, if we break past that, it's a wrap, and it should see lower prices in the future. But we know that the overall trend for Bitcoin is up, so you always want to keep that in mind. Don't be too aggressive on the short side. So yes, let's check the Dow Jones. We have about 7 minutes before the market opens, so make sure you guys are getting prepared. If you have snacks, you have water, you have any drinks that you need, make sure you go get them now, so that way when the market opens, we can be fully and 100% focused on the task ahead of us. Today's main goal is to, first of all, make sure that our first trade is a positive trade. Second, make sure that we hold all of our best trades. And third, walk away when we hit a certain number. My goal today is to make 10 points overall. So I would prefer to get 5 in the morning and 5 at the close. So we'll see how that plays out today. I'm not forcing anything though, because like I was saying earlier, the S&P has been moving sideways and slowly grinding all week long. It hasn't really been too many trending opportunities outside of Monday, actually outside of Monday morning. So we'll keep that in mind today. You know, sometimes the S&P likes to play around with you. But on the Dow Jones, we're seeing a similar pattern to the S&P. We had an all-time high get formed on April 5th. And since that time period, we've been making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And we're continuing to do so. We're just slightly and ever so minusculely just moving down, grinding down slower. Now, when you see moves like that and it's a slow grind to the downside, you got to be cautious, because eventually, sooner or later, prices are just going to pop and the market and the floodgates are going to open, and you'll see prices just boop, drop like a rock. And it's the same thing on the opposite side. When you have a slow grind, eventually the market will just open up, prices will shoot higher, and that'll usually be the end of the move, either on the upside or the downside. So remember both of those scenarios for the future, because we may see some of those things today. We have about 5 minutes until the market opens, so let's see if there's anything else that we need to cover. We definitely need to look at dollar Swiss. We went over this pair last night, gave a pretty decent analysis, so let's see what's going on. So last night we were expecting a pullback coming out of the little small consolidation zone that we were in right here, because I was telling you guys that prices were way too low to hop in for the short. But in occasions like this where the trend is strong, you really don't get pullbacks. You might get a consolidation zone like this where the lowest price was 93 even, the highest price was 93.14. So if you considered that a pullback, that would have been your opportunity, but it was a little bit too small for us. We were waiting for prices to come back to the last low right here at 93.25, but that didn't even happen. So that tells us that this trend is extremely strong right now. So that's something that we need to keep in mind. We're seeing lower lows and lower highs. The overall trend on the weekly chart is down. We've been moving down since around April of 2019. So that's about 2 years straight that we've been moving down. Now, at the beginning of the year, we did have a bullish movement to the upside, a little bit of a retracement, but then we had this bearish engulfing on the weekly chart. That's not a good sign at all. Definitely something that we should be concerned about. In my opinion, this was the last frontier for the buyers. This entire wick area at 93.25. Now that we've broken past 93 even and we're back into the 92s, I don't think it's too much that's holding this market back from coming down to touch 92.25. I think if you're looking for a long trade, that would be the level that you would probably want to look for to get in and open up long positions at. Anything before that might be just a little bit premature, because we're having lower lows and lower highs. So if anything, I would say the best opportunity for us would probably be to take the short trade, take it back down to these levels that we were talking about before at 92.25, and then look to go long from those areas. But of course, you never jump into any positions just based on what you think. You always wait for your levels to be hit, and then you wait for confirmation to come in. So when prices get back down here to these levels, before you go long, you need to see a higher high and a higher low, and then you can feel comfortable taking that trade and you'll be safer. You always want to make sure that you manage your risk. So we have about 2 minutes until the market opens. Let's go ahead and open up our trading platform. Today we will be trading live. Just trying to build up, manage my risk, make sure that my first trade is my best trade. All right. And I don't believe that I looked at the 5 or the 15 in terms of the S&P, so we'll look at those right now. Okay, so interesting. So this right here is definitely a flag. Prices had an impulsive move higher, and since that point they've come back to kind of form a flag support down here at 4,050. We came down, touched that level, bounced off of it. Now it looks like we could potentially be moving higher, but we're still stuck in that consolidation range between 4,055, 4,075. So we'll see what materializes when the market opens. We have about 50 seconds. So make sure you guys get your minds right. Let's go into these markets with patience, with clarity. Let's believe in our abilities. All of the back testing that we've been doing has led us to this moment. It's time for us to capitalize. So let's stay focused. Let's be patient. And let's wait for our trades to come to us. One thing we won't do today is chase the market. We want to analyze, observe, find the best opportunities, put our orders in, and strike when the time is right and when the iron is hot. All right. It is 9:30 and the market is officially open for business. All right, so let's analyze. Coming off these lows, these daily lows down here at 4,056. So far we moved up. We made a higher low right here. We pushed up again. We came back, retraced, retested the level that we previously made our last high at, which is usually typical market structure. You want to see prices come back and retest your previous highs, bounce off of it, and continue moving higher. So, you know what I'll do? I'm actually going to put a consolidation box around this entire area. So let's find the perfect place for the top of the box. We already have our bottom down here at 56. I'm trying to think, should I draw the box across these tops or across these? I'll draw it across the bottom. Shapes. Let's get our box. All right, there we go. We have our zone. Let's go ahead and make sure we change our color to make it match up for what we like. Borders. All right. Cool beans. All right, now that we have our consolidation zone drawn, everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. All we have to do is wait for prices to either hit the top of the zone so we can short, hit the bottom so we can go long, or break out so we can start trending. And then once we start trending, we can really take some nice swing trades and get some nice points out of this market, if that happens to happen today. We still need a lot of things to materialize before we even get to think about those things happening. But so far, so good. I like the momentum that we're having on the open. It looks like the buyers are stepping in and they really want to push prices higher, which would make sense based on our pre-market analysis, because we know that overall the longer term trend is up. So the majority of the time we should expect the market to move in a very similar fashion. Now, since we know that the trend is up and we know that prices are moving in that direction at the moment, we need to start looking for entry levels. So for me, like I've been telling you guys before, we want to wait for prices to pull back to previous highs. So our most previous high that we just broke through is located right here at 66. Notice how this wick right here came back and tested that level. So that right there was our opportunity to get in. If we haven't been able to catch it right there, then, oh well, we have to leave it alone. We don't want to chase it. If anything, we could see prices come back and test this high right here where we could put our order in. So let's go ahead, slap up an order right there at 65 and look to take it back up to the top of our zone. Best case scenario, we can get that price filled. Let's actually move it up to 65.25 to make sure we get that order filled. Best case scenario. And that's one thing I've also been learning about the S&P is that you should really, and not just the S&P, any pair, don't rush to get into your trade. Put your orders where they should be, and you'll be surprised at what happens. So you see prices just came down. They were 1 wick away from filling us, and boom, our orders are filled. That's what I like. Came back, tested this high right here, and now we should see our bounce. But if not, and we take a loss, that tells us that we're too early on the long trade. So far, it's kind of playing around at that 65 level. The sellers could still step in and push this thing lower. Come on, buyers. I think this candle that we're on right now will be the difference maker. If this candle closes in the green, we should be good for higher prices. I would like to see prices close above 66.5. To me, that would be a very strong sign. Right now, we're kind of playing around 66 and the 65 level. But once we get past 66 and close above it, we should be good. So right now we're above it, but it's about 15 seconds until we close. So it's not guaranteed quite yet. All right, 5 seconds until the close. Let's close strong. Come on, buyers, close strong. And I wouldn't say it's a strong close or a weak one, just more of a consolidation close. We haven't really broken above or below the candle before, so that's an inside bar. Come on, buyers. Now, as we start to get into more profits, once we hit about 3 points in profit, I'll move my stop up to break even. So we entered in at 4,065 and 1/4. So when prices hit 4,068 and 1/4, aka 68.25, that's when we'll move our stop up to break even. So we just need the break pass this wick and we should be good. It's pushing past it now, but we needed the close above it. This candle has a long time until it closes, about 40 seconds. Anything can happen in that time period. So all right, we are up. We just hit 68.25. So let's move our stop up to break even. We always want to manage our risk properly. Whenever you have a trade that starts to run and you start to get profits, trail your stop. Always. So on the 5-minute, we're running into a little bit of resistance up here at these levels at 68. Now my target is up here towards the top of the zone at 4,070. So I think that price could get hit, but I wouldn't be surprised if prices came back, retested my entry, and then went up. But we still keep our stop at break even because we never want to chance the market going further than what we actually believe in. So my profit target is up here, right towards the tops of these wicks. So I like that. Let's check the 15-minute. Yeah, it looks solid. I like it. So we'll go ahead and just wait here and let our trade play out and do what it does. Come on, buyers. They came 3 ticks away from my profit target. They better not reverse on me. They better not reverse on me. I know that much. But we haven't seen exhaustion volume at all. That's usually what I use to figure out whether I should enter or exit my positions. When you're in a position and you see exhaustion volume, that usually tells you that the move is over and it'll probably be a pullback or a reversal very soon. So you need to go ahead and take profits when you can. So if you haven't seen exhaustion volume, it tells you that the market still has room to run. So just go ahead and hold on to that bad boy. Now, here's what I like to do. What I like to do is when I'm in a position like this that I know should work in my favor, but it starts pulling back against me, I like to hop over to a different chart and just see what's going on. So let's do that right now. Let's go around the horn and see what's happening in the markets today. You know my favorite pairs, well, my favorite stocks. I love Apple. I still think it's at a great buying price right now in terms of long-term investment. You look back at these prices in 3 years, you'll say, dang, I'm glad I got in at 125. So Apple, you know, that's my baby. ARKK, you know we're coming there next. Boom, boom. We've seen a double bottom coming off of ARKK. Overall, it has been in an uptrend, as we can see. Just goodness. Started at around $20. Oh, no. Okay. So we're seeing something interesting right now. Remember how we were talking about exhaustion volume coming in? Well, it just came in. You see this bar right here? This volume bar, this one right here represents exhaustion. Notice how it's higher than all of the volume bars next to it or relatively close to it. That shows us that whatever happened on that candle, that move was done for. Now we have to analyze the candle. Look at what happened. Prices shot all the way down. Sellers tried to move this thing back down below key levels of support, but they failed to do so. Made a long tail candle wick, which is a very bullish sign. And then we saw green on the next candle following the candle that we made that exhaustion volume bar on. So that means that the bulls are starting to step in, which means that everything should be good and we should see prices go ahead and tag our profit target. I think it's coming right about, oh, that's not good. That's not what you want to see right there. But you know what? We'll just hold it. We'll just sit here and analyze it. If my stop gets hit, I'll get out at break even, and I'm okay with that because I still like the prospects of higher prices. I'm just very concerned about this double top, especially coming out of exhaustion volume like this. It usually means that the sellers are starting to take back over. They already flexed their muscle one time on this candle. The bulls tried to come back in and undo it. They pushed the market back up to 69, retested this wick, but had a very, very hard time staying up there. Come on, market. Come on, market. Where are all of my buyers at? I need y'all to, actually, I don't think I can say that on the stream. I think that's market manipulation, isn't it? Water. See, this is what I mean when I talk about the S&P just drying up like a raisin. You see how at the open, prices moved up with good momentum, and then they just start moving sideways. So, you know what we like to do. We don't want to stare at the chart for too long. We'll get back to that a little bit later. Let's look at JP Morgan. The banking sector has been on fire this year. As we see, JP Morgan has It started the year at 123, and so far it's up by about $30. So that's about what, 20 something percent? Let's see. 123 to 153, about 23% in 3 and 4 months. That's nice. Man, I low-key want to get out, take profits right now where I am, but like I said before, our goal today is to hold our best trades. We already know that we're in an uptrend. We caught the prices at the pullback that tested the last high, so we should see prices continue moving up, because if you analyze the market where we got in from, we've already made a higher low after that. So that tells us that we should be good, and we really just have to be patient. You know, we can't rush the market and tell it when to move. The market will move when it feels like it. We just have to wait for it. And we can complain about the wait time as much as we want to, but it is what it is. But I really don't like how prices are finding resistance right here at 69. Why do they always want to find resistance right below my entries? So it looks like we may get our stop filled at break even, and that's okay. That's all right. So let's give it a time limit. Let's say we want to click off of this chart and not click back on it until it's 9:46 right now. Let's give it 2 minutes. Give it 2 candles. So at 9:48, we'll click back over. But in the meantime, in between time, let's look at dollar Swiss. On a 5-minute, not much going on. A lot of consolidation. So let's go ahead and tap back in with the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones had a very similar move to the S&P, seeing that at the beginning of the market open, prices shot up a little bit higher. Dow Jones had a little bit of a better move than the S&P, I would say. Dow Jones ran up from 33,400 up to 33,530. So about a good 130 pips or 130 points coming off of the open. All of my Dow Jones traders, I'm pretty sure you were able to catch some nice moves out of that one, but right now you got to be a little bit patient because we've had lower lows and lower highs. So if we know about the correlation between the Dow Jones and the S&P, that's not a good thing. That means that more than likely the S&P is going to move down as well. Hopefully not, but hope is nothing that we want to rely on in the market. No, sir. Okay, 2 people in here today. I like that. I like that. You add me in there, that makes a trio. We can be the Migos. We can be the trading Migos. Me and y'all. 3 is company. 2 is a couple. 3 is a company. It's a party, baby. All right, so we're about to come into 9:48 in 3 seconds. 2, 1. All right, so let's click back over and wow. It didn't move at all. So we'll give it another 2 minutes. Man. You know, days like this make me think about just taking the entire week off. It's no point in just staring at the charts all week if they're not gonna move. But maybe if I keep talking crap about the market, it'll say, you know what? We will move. Just because you think we won't, we will. So maybe I can use some reverse psychology on the market to make it do what I want it to. Dogecoin. What's going on over here? Dogecoin is it's a funny looking chart. If anybody has expertise trading chart patterns that look like these, please let me know. I haven't seen too much of these movements or price action movements like this in my trading history. I've been trading for 8 years. So if you guys know more about this, please let me know. Drop it in the chat or DM me on IG or on YouTube, because I'm interested in learning. I want to get deeper into the cryptocurrency space. I know a lot of people have been telling me that Dogecoin is not really a real crypto. It's just something that people traded to make money, and that's it. They say that Bitcoin and Ethereum and maybe even Litecoin are where people need to be in terms of long-term growth. So I'll be doing more research on that and trying to share info with you guys as well. I'll be doing that over on twitch.tv/Bison Trading Show tomorrow night, 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and my guy Darren. Make sure you follow him on IG as well at Pearl_Financial_LLC. We do our Bison Trading Show every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we basically just give a live market analysis. We tell you guys what levels you need to look for, what pairs are doing what in the market, and how you can craft a very strategic plan going into your next trading session so you can be successful. So make sure you tune in and check us out over there. The link is in the description down below. So it's been another 2 minutes. It's 9:50. Let's check our position. It's not looking good. It's looking like it's ready to come back and test our break-even stop. Honestly, if this trade gets stopped out at break even, I might call it a day, because we were up in profit. We had about 5 points. If we end up not being able to catch that and take a break even, not a loss, but I don't even know what to call a break even trade, just a bloop, I'll probably call it a day. Market hasn't been moving all week, so it's no point in sitting here trying to bore you guys with watching a market that's not moving. What's today? Today is April 7th, right? Is it a holiday that I don't know about? Because last time I checked, I'm pretty sure April 7th was just supposed to be a normal trading day. I'm pretty sure. But the last time I saw volume look like this, I said the same thing on Friday. It turns out I forgot it was Good Friday and the markets were closed. I was like, duh. So let's make sure nothing is going on today. Nope. All right, so yeah, the market is open. I guess this is a lesson in patience. That's what it is. So let's look at the positive aspects of it. Let's not keep complaining. No more complaining on the stream. Sorry, you guys. My bad. No more. No more. Positive thoughts only. For sure. Well, make sure y'all hop into the chat. I'll get back to you. Don't worry. I will. So let's go ahead and just go through our watch list. Let's see what's going on. Tesla just made a double bottom, is moving up. SMH semiconductor ETF pushing new all-time highs, about to get there very soon. Zoom has not been zooming since October of last year. It's been doing the opposite of zooming. But that makes sense, because Zoom was a stock that was going to be very a big runner during the pandemic because people needed it. But now that vaccines are coming out, the country is slowly starting to get back to normal. How important is Zoom going to be in the future? That's a question that still has to be answered, because in my opinion, it's not going to be used as much as it was during the pandemic, but I don't think that is going away significantly anytime soon. I think people learning that we could work from home and Zoom instead of going into an office made a huge difference and just completely shifted the scale of working from offices just in general forever, in my opinion. So I'm interested to see how Zoom will be used by professionals and amateurs alike going forward in the future. Lululemon, I always like this one. They do great numbers every quarter. So in my opinion, I compare them to Apple, where it's one of those sleeper companies where you know the name is good, the brand is good, but you just get so used to it that you just say, I'll trade something else. If you can get Lululemon at 300 or 280, make sure you do. QQQ, one of my favorite pairs. If you're looking for a good index fund to get into and you want exposure to technology, look at QQQ. That'll help you out a whole lot. Home Depot, it's been in a crazy uptrend, man. Look at this. Look at this. Sheesh. 28% in 1 month. Hey, this market is crazy, man. Plenty of opportunities for everybody. It's no excuses to not be making some type of coin, whether it's Bitcoins or, did I say Bitcoins? Big coins or small coins. But you should be making some type of coin in this market looking at these charts, man. For real, for real. FedEx looks like it's forming a cup and handle when we think about it. Got boom. It's the cup. It should be formed. This could be the handle right here. This little pullback. And then it moves up, moves higher. What's next? PayPal had a very strong sell-off from these all-time highs at 306. Came all the way back down to 227. If you want to trade growth stocks, that's the type of volatility that you have to look forward to. Pullbacks will be extreme, but overall, for a company like PayPal, I definitely like the long-term prospects. You know, PayPal is the same company that owns Venmo. They do. Very, very strong processing system. We're moving into a world where things are moving to the digital side. So these digital processing payments companies, they have a very bright future in front of them as long as they continue to manage business the right way and make good moves. So I like PayPal long term. DocuSign, it has potential, but they have to figure out a way to become more important, because DocuSign could easily be replicated. What's stopping anybody else from making a DocuSign replica? Not much. Microsoft, just a beast. What more needs to be said? Microsoft is a beast, has always been a beast, and will probably still continue to be a beast. In terms of technology and technological advances, expect Microsoft to stay ahead of the curve for decades. Salesforce, one of my favorite companies. If you look at their business model, it's actually pretty interesting. I don't even want to give you guys any spoiler alerts. I want to let you do your own research on Salesforce, and then I want you to come back and tell me what you found so we can talk about it. McDonald's, one of my favorite companies as well. I don't think I've driven past a McDonald's and not seen the drive-through line wrapped around the restaurant. On every location, every store. And the crazy part is, on my strip where I live, they have 2 McDonald's on that strip, about a mile, probably less than that, away from each other. And both of those McDonald's do numbers consistently. You would think that having 2 McDonald's on the same strip would not work. They do numbers, bro. Numbers. They do billions and billions of dollars worth of revenue every quarter. They continue to make improvements to their supply chain that decreases costs, while at the same time they're doing more business, introducing new products that's making them more money. So what happens when you make more money and you decrease your expenses? Your revenue is higher, your profits are higher, which pushes the stock to higher prices, which is what we were seeing. Now, Square Cash, we already know them for what? Cash App. Yes. So, in my opinion, they're in the same space as PayPal. So if you can get this company for a better price, lower prices, maybe 220, 200, definitely capitalize off of that one. So it's about 958. I think that gave us enough time to let our trade play out. So let's see what happened. Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Oh man, we got in this trade at 9:35. We've been in here for 20 minutes. And we're gonna be in here for 20 minutes just to get stopped out at break even, it looks like. That's frustrating. Super frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. I already was counting the profits in my head. Dang. Only 2 ticks away. Wow. Wow. Wow, S&P. That's how you gonna do me today? It's like that? I got you. I got you. All right. That's it. Unbelievable. Dang, man. Well, all right, you guys. Market is moving like paint drying right now. So I'll go ahead and get out of here. I might be back a little bit later on at 3 o'clock to trade the close. But until then, I'll just be taking it easy. You guys do the same thing. Make sure you be patient in these markets. It's very treacherous. When in markets like this, don't overtrade. Overtrading will be the death of you. Make sure you don't do that. But other than that, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, 9:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. And tomorrow night, 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the night session.